The Stanley Cup is in the building. Here we go. Carolina Hurricanes and Vegas Golden Knights. It's game 6 in Vegas. I'm in New Jersey, a couple thousand miles away from where this game is being held. But man, am I excited for this one. We're getting puck drop in just a couple minutes. These two teams have been such a show for the Stanley Cup final. And this could be it. Carolina might take this one, and if they do, it's their first Stanley Cup in 20 years. Exactly 20 years. And man, I'm excited for this one. It's my first time doing hockey, so there might be a bit of a learning curve, but I'm excited to be here for the journey. PK Subban not wearing an egregious hat today like he was for Game 5. Anybody in chat, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know you're here in chat. I'll be reading chat all stream. Maybe not while the play is going on, but nonetheless, chat is active. If you ask me, which if you're here, I'm assuming you are asking me, I would take the Carolina Hurricanes to win this game, finish it off in 6. They are the better team. Their offense has been unstoppable. Carter Hart hasn't played well, and he's going to have to stand on his head if he wants to stop this Hurricanes offense. They have firepower. The Vegas Golden Knights do too. They're going to be without William Karlsson today, but you know they can score. Marner, Eichel, Hurdle, Dorofeyev. This is a team that can put the puck in the net. And Brandon Bussi, 2-0, 2 starts, in relief of Frederik Andersen, has a chance to win the Stanley Cup this year. And how remarkable would that be? So apparently there's 14 minutes until puck drop, according to my stream. So I got on here a little early, but that's all right. That gives me enough time to talk about the New York Knicks being NBA Finals champions. That's kind of crazy to me. I think the Spurs left nearly everything out on the floor. And by that, I don't mean in a good way. I mean, they had the opportunities. They had a lead of 10 plus in every single game, and they lost 4 out of 5 games. That can't happen. And I think I want to say Wemby's going to be back, but I'm not sure. The NBA has crazy parity. I thought it would be Thunder all the way this year. But no, they got knocked out by the Spurs, and next year the Spurs might be the team getting knocked out. I think you have to capitalize on your chances when you have them, and if you don't, you're going to regret it forever, and I think the Spurs are going to regret this one forever. It's one of the more embarrassing finals losses that I've witnessed. They beat themselves, really, and even after the victory, I still stand by that the Spurs were the better team. They just beat themselves, and the better team on paper doesn't always win, but the Knicks played like the better team. They played like the better team. They're not the better team. Unfortunately, De'Aaron Fox decided not to play the game. Stephon Castle had his first field goal with a minute left in the game. And Jalen Brunson dropped 45. When somebody takes over like that, it's going to be hard to give anybody else Finals MVP. And that's what I said yesterday. I said, if you're thinking about giving OG Anunoby the Finals MVP, think again. It is Jalen Brunson. Let's wait a couple minutes to get people in here, and then we'll get this game up and running. The puck dropped, and potentially the final game of the NHL season underway. This would feel good for the Hurricanes. I mean, obviously it'd feel good for anybody, but a team that had been swept, and then lost 4-1 in the conference finals each year, to now dominating, only losing 3 games so far, and then potentially taking home the Stanley Cup final. That would feel pretty good. This is a team that has been very good in recent years, and it feels like they haven't been able to get over the hump. That hump has been climbed. That hill, they're past it. Now they just have to finish it off. I'd have a hard time believing that they're ever going to get close again if they can't come up with this one. This is a must-win next 2 games. Vegas and Carolina. Wouldn't have told you that at the beginning of the season. I might have told you Carolina. I would not have told you Vegas. But what do you know? What do you know? Game 6. As for predictions, I will give you 5-4 Carolina. Maybe 5-3. I think they'll score 4. They'll make it 4-3, and then they'll get the empty netter to really clinch the Stanley Cup, and then they'll party in Vegas. Man, that's got to be the best place to win the Cup final. In Vegas, that's got to be unreal. Obviously, they're not at home, but other than at home, that's got to be the best place to be. Anybody in chat, make sure to drop a follow, drop a message, let me know you're here. Reading chat all game long. The question is, will Jordan Staal put another puck in the net, and if he does, will he be the Conn Smythe Trophy winner? Because right now it's unclear. Sebastian Aho had a beauty of a goal, but he hasn't really performed to the best of his abilities. It could be Logan Stankoven. Really could be. But right now, especially because he's the captain, if he puts another biscuit in the basket, Jordan Staal is going to be my Conn Smythe Trophy winner. And I think he'd have to retire after that, right? Like, he's getting up there. He's 37. He's had a great career. This would be his 2nd Stanley Cup, I believe. I'll look that up really quickly. Yes, so he only won with the Penguins in 2009, like I thought. And this would be his 2nd. He narrowly missed the Hurricanes win back in 06-07. And man, this building's got to be going crazy. I mean, Vegas, not really a hockey town, but this team has just had so much success. Carolina, not necessarily a hockey town either, but this team, it's hard not to rally around them. One of the most thrilling Stanley Cup finals that I have ever had the pleasure of witnessing. And Brandon Bussey is one of the goalies. And he's been phenomenal. I can't even discount what he's done because he's been excellent. Simply excellent. I'm going to grab another water bottle because I know I'm going to run out. Alrighty. I didn't miss anything because the puck drop is 20 minutes after advertised. Unreal, man. But man, I'm excited for this game. It's going to be a great one. Stanley Cup in the building. It's crazy to be a player on this team. I either of these teams. I wonder what you're thinking going into this game, because the Hurricanes, I mean, for a guy like Aho, for a guy like Stahl, Svechnikov to have been on this team for all of their conference finals trips to now be one game away, it's got to feel surreal. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. And to just get it done is not something I can ever imagine. How about them Phillies getting shut out again by the Milwaukee Brewers? You've got to be kidding me with that. Christopher Sanchez, really not a great outing today. Gave up 4 runs, 2 homers. Not really what you want to see out of your ace, especially after his top competition for the Cy Young race just went out and delivered a Maddox against your team. It's pretty demoralizing, but the Phillies have the Marlins tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so hopefully getting back to winning series. Series is? Not sure. Alright, it's nearly that time. I can't exactly tell what I'm watching. Somebody's floating. Oh, there's a knight. Oh, now there's a lot of people who are floating, and there's some sort of dragon up there. Now the Golden Knight helmet is being lowered on the ground. And I think there's a dude dressed as a Golden Knight. Is that what they do? Oh, here comes the Hurricanes. While all of this is happening, or is this a replay? No, I think all of this is still happening. Okay, here they come. As much as I dislike the Golden Knights, that is a really cool entrance. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it is cool. Oh, it's nighttime. Ah, I get it. Can't get anything past me. There's Logan Stankoven, Jordan Stahl, all with their playoff beards. Mitch Marner looks strange with a beard, as I kind of expected. I have never seen him make it this far into the playoffs. Here we go. Just a couple minutes from puck drop. We're doing the national anthem first, though. Should I stand? Show respect. Nah, it's not even playing because I got the sound muted because I don't want to get copyrighted. Mark Stone is back. He wasn't playing earlier. Well, which games did he miss? Okay, so he missed he missed a lot of the conference final, and he missed some of the second round. But he has played the Stanley Cup final. Golden Knights versus Hurricanes. There's John Tortorella. crazy that he took over for the Golden Knights only a couple of games before the end of the season, and he's taken this team on a monster run to the Stanley Cup final. And while they are one game away from being eliminated, they are also 2 games away from winning it all. And if they can come up with this one at home, we're going to Game 7. The Stanley Cup final. This is what you dream of, right? Dominic says hi. Hi, Dominic. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. Who you got in this game? I got the Canes, but... honestly, I could see it going either way. Alrighty, there we go. And puck drop any minute now for the Stanley Cup Finals. Game 6, potentially the final game of this season. A lot of Vegas fans in there. Not a lot of Carolina fans. They don't travel too well, but the ones who are there are diehards. I imagine that the... oh, Alex Petrangelo's sounding the alarm. That's cool. Petrangelo won with the Golden Knights, his second Stanley Cup back in 2023, but not really a Golden Knight legend per se. So there's Carter Hart. Stonewall this postseason until it was time for the finals. He hasn't had over a 900 save percentage or fewer than 4 goals allowed in any of these games. Now let's see what he's got. Jordan Staal to take the face-off with Jarvis and Ehlers on his line. Here we go. Face-off won by Vegas. Dowd sent back to Theodore. Passes into the offensive zone. Poked away into the offensive area. And a whistle early in this one. We'll have another face-off off sides. Nick Dowd pushed it in. And 7 seconds in, we're going to start again with the face-off. These two teams play fast. Already line changes just 7 seconds in. Jack Eichel comes out with Pavel Dorofeyev. Won by Vegas. And now taken by Carolina. Flipped into the offensive area. Vegas bats it down. Pavel Dorofeyev sends it up the ice. And the pass too strong for Rasmus Andersson. Going back is Nikishin. Winds it along the boards. Poked ahead. Now recovered by Vegas. Pavel Dorofeyev sends it in. Bussy nearly gets to it. And now the puck out in the open area. Sent in on net. Off the back. Eichel with the forecheck. And now knocked to the ground as a Hurricane. Puck winds up in the corner. And poked around Martinuk. Still back at the point. Far pass unable to be received by Howden. Now out in front. Off a skate, and finally it exits the offensive zone for Carolina. Looking for icing, won't get it. Not strong enough, and Shea Theodore recollects behind his own net. Passes across McNabb. McNabb sends it up into center ice. And in the neutral zone, Vegas takes over. They've had a lot of the possession so far, nearly all of it. Ehlers goes back, takes a check from Mitch Marner. Evading was Jarvis, and now Staal goes after it. Theodore back. Sneaks it past Jarvis. And now Howden loses the puck. Slavin. No look pass cross ice. Chatfield winds it along the boards. Hart can't get to it. And it's passed along behind the net. Back to McNabb. Unable to sneak it out. Hall. And now Blake. Jackson Blake behind the net. Curving and sends a shot off Hart's pads. Not a great angle there, but a good attempt. Gostisbehere behind the net. Sent up, and now Nikishin sends it down for Stankoven. He collects it, but it's called icing. Taylor Hall a little banged up there on the bench. Not really what you want to see for Carolina. Just 2 minutes into the game or at all. And a nice shot from Jackson Blake to put some pressure on. So an offensive zone draw for the Golden Knights after the icing. Eichel with Stone on his wing. Marner on the other wing. Rasmus Andersson dragging, sends it out in front, poked away by Blake. And sent all the way down. We'll do it right over again. Right back to Taylor Hall on the bench. Seems to be all right. Another look at what happened. Ooh, he was sandwiched between a couple Golden Knights. Hit in an area you don't really want to be hit in by Ivan Barbashev. Stankoven taking the draw against Eichel. Draw won by Vegas. Hannafin. Blocked by Jackson Blake and sent down the ice. Looking for it and can't collect it, but the Canes take it right back. Quick shot. Here with it is Aho. Aho has it blocked. Sean Walker with the puck behind his own net, recuperating. Pass up to Aho, and now Walker sends it back down into the Golden Knights zone. Hard pass, unable to escape the defensive area. Sent up, collected, and now the Golden Knights will recover. Carolina will change. Sent up to Dowd and a center ice shot, saved by Bussey. Dowd, who won the draw, the opening draw, now back on the ice. And sends the puck out of play, will have another face-off. Still 0-0. A lot of scoring in this series, but none yet, just 3 minutes in. No shots yet for Vegas, 1 for Carolina. Eichel to take the draw with Marner and Stone on his wings. And Marner actually not on a wing. He's back at the perimeter of the left circle. Puck dropped and tied up immediately. Jarvis looking for it. Chatfield pokes it away, and it gets to Jarvis. Seth Jarvis taking it in, trying to work around McNabb. He won't be able to. Theodore's hit by Stahl on the boards, and Eichel lofts it out of play. Ray Ferraro got a hold of that one in the in his little booth that they have on ice level. Couldn't quite catch it, but it did hit his hands. You know, if they had me sitting out there, I probably wouldn't catch it either, but I would have tried my best. And isn't that what really matters? I don't know about that, but Stankoven to take the draw. And knocked away after he did win it. Barbashev tried to get it to Howden, couldn't. Slavin sends it up the boards for a quick breakaway. The shot, he scores! Taylor Hall opens up the scoring after he was hurt. And now he's on the board. Canes lead 1-0. What a heads-up play by Taylor Hall. It has Tortorella dumbfounded. And Carolina has the early lead once again in Game 6. Unreal shot But an incredible play by Jacob Slavin. Hall just sneaks it under Hart's glove. He saw it, didn't quite have the reflexes to get to it, and Carolina has notched another early goal. Taylor Hall's 7th of the series. He's close to becoming one of few players to win a Stanley Cup and a Hart Trophy for 2 different teams. I would have to check the stats on that, but I have to imagine it's not a lot. And be drafted first overall by a 3rd team? Yeah, he might be the only one. Hurricanes back in the offensive zone. This one's swallowed up by Hart. Eric Robinson was in front looking for the deflection. But Taylor Hall scores first. What a heads-up play. Hart never had a chance. Canes lead 1-0. Vegas still yet to register a shot on goal. And another offensive draw for Carolina. They win it. Back to Sean Walker. He'll wind it along the boards. It's intercepted. Shea Theodore tries to get up to Dowd. Martinook keeps it in off the stick. And now Svechnikov looking for it. Won't have it. Martinook battling. And now poked ahead. Collected by Theodore. McNabb wearing the cage gets it. Back to Keandre Miller. Miller, the former Ranger. Svechnikov. Pass intercepted by Shea Theodore. He seems to be everywhere. And now sent across ice for McNabb. Past the red line. He winds it in. Bussy to play the puck. Nearly dangerous. Dowd went and got it. And now a hard hit by Jarvis frees up the puck for Jordan Staal. Sent out in front, but nobody home. Staal battling, tries to get it to Ehlers, won't. And now Slavin with a slap pass along the boards. It gets all the way back into Carolina's zone. Bussy to play it again. He'll drop it. No, he'll play it, looking for Ehlers initially, and then swings it along the boards. There's Hannafin back to Rasmus Andersson. The trade acquisition from the Flames, both sides of that defensive pairing. And now this one will be icing as it's sent way down into Vegas territory. Quick start, 6 minutes in, Taylor Hall has the Canes up 1 with a chance to clinch Lord Stanley's Cup. Still no shots for Vegas. Draw 1 by Eichel. Dorofeyev sends it in. Bussy makes the save. Back out in front. Sent to Dorofeyev, and he can't finish back door. It was bouncing, and it bounced over his stick. Poked out to Jarvis. Leaves it for Stankoven. Stankoven, a spinning pass. Finds Taylor Hall, the goal scorer. He spins. Now sends it along. Nobody home. Hannafin takes it. He's hit. Stankoven battling for the puck with the hit. Logan Stankoven has been sensational this playoff run. Now sent back along. Ends up in the hands of Jackson Blake. Walker over the Hall. A bouncing pass. Can't be collected by Taylor Hall, but he gets it in the corner. Over to Walker. Back across. Hall fans on the shot. Looking for his second. Could not make contact. And Stankoven recollects it in the offensive area. And now stolen away. Rasmus Andersson pokes it. And Mark Stone clears the zone. Pass sent into Blake. No offsides. Blake is tripped up. No penalty. Braden McNabb, the longtime Golden Knight, there since their first season. And now it's stolen away. Barbashev in the offensive area. Sends it across right onto a Carolina stick, and it's cleared once again. 7 minutes in. Shea Theodore recollects behind his own net. Sent across. Pass intercepted by by Carolina's Aho. Svechnikov in front. Aho can't get it to go with an easy chance out in front, but too much traffic in front of the goal. Blocks it and turns it away. Svechnikov takes a hit. Now sent across. Aho at the circle. Sent across again. Svechnikov leaping and can't make contact. Close guard by Barbashev, and now sent up and in. Pass redirected into the offensive zone for Aho. Aho gets tied up Martinuk with the puck. Chatfield slap past Gostisbehere, one of the top point-producing defensemen on this team and in the league. And a pass sent way down into Carolina's zone. It was tipped, so no icing. And now Slavin behind the net. Slavin, one of the best defensemen in the NHL. Not a guy who shows up consistently on the stat sheet, but his impact is felt. One of the best. Hurdle with the puck, and now it's nearly stolen by Carolina. Along the boards, trying to keep it in, and they cannot. Sent off a Vegas stick, and now looking for it along the boards is Carolina. Sending it up. And battling along the boards are the Hurricanes with two Vegas defenders. Stahl collects the puck in the offensive area. Stahl turning. The captain has delivered so far. Can he notch another goal in this series? That's the question. Now the puck escapes and is lifted up into center ice. Ehlers with a hard pass. Ehlers has found himself back on defense far more often in this game. Now Eichel with a nice pass. Pavel Dorofeyev. Sent out in front, Eichel. Stick handling. A Kane trip, sent in front, and a save made by Brandon Bussi. The first shot to register for Vegas, the second now in front, Dorofeyev is denied, knocking it out of the air and over. Bussi takes it, and there's no goal. Did not cross the line. There's some pushing and shoving and some excellent chances by Pavel Dorofeyev to try to even this series. Even this game, and eventually even this series. Back to the goal scorer, Taylor Hall with a snipe just under Carter Hart's arm. We are 1-0 lead for Carolina, and they have their home fans packed into the Lenovo Center in Raleigh. Man, that place had to be going nuts when they scored. What I would give for a Flyers Stanley Cup run, man, that'd be awesome. So far, I've thought the chances have been pretty even. Carolina, I think, has been the better team. They've had the better sustained offensive zone time. And they had that one breakaway with Hall, and he didn't look back. He scored. But other than that, this game could go either way. Carter Hart, he needs to be better. That's a savable shot. Really is. It wasn't some crazy bar down snipe. It was a gimme, honestly, for Hart. It just snuck under his arm, and that's... You get unlucky, but sometimes you got to make those saves. He hasn't made them this series. Pavel Dorofeyev has every shot for Carolina. For Vegas. Some other NHL news. Looks like Dan Vladar is going to be a Flyer long-term. 5-year extension, Kevin Weeks reports. So that means he's going to be in Philly till what, 2032? Because he already had another year on his contract. Great hand-eye coordination from Brandon Bussi to go and get that one that came over the net. That was fantastic. Dorofeyev nearly had himself a goal there. Offensive zone draw for Vegas, and we'll do it again. Carolina Nearly half a period gone. Jarvis to take the faceoff with Jack Eichel. Draw one by Seth Jarvis. Sean Walker sends it up. I got Seth Jarvis and Sean Walker confused. And now Stahl with it behind the Vegas net. Puck poked away, gets to Mitch Marner. He was fantastic in the first couple games of this series. Hasn't been so good as of late. Now Stahl sends the puck up to Walker. A 2-on-2 for Carolina. Seth Jarvis pass goes too far for him, and it gets to Braden McNabb. McNabb, dangerous pass, nearly taken away by Hall, but he's sent careening to the ice. And Dowd flips it in on his backhand. Jacob Slavin is hit. And a shot deflected out in front. Chatfield looking for it, can't find it. And the puck is advanced to Jackson Blake. Sent across. Puck dropped. Taylor Hall sends it on net, and it's wide. All the way back around. And we're going to have a penalty. Looks like Vegas is going to head to the power play. And they're... Oh, I forgot to update the score. It still says 0-0. It's 1-0. So Jackson Blake headed to the box. Looks like for a trip. Rod Brindamore doesn't like it. And the question is, would he like any call that's on his team? I don't know. I can't really tell on that one. It's hard to say. But Vegas is going to head to the power play when we come back. And I say when we come back, but I'm not going to commercial because I'm not getting paid for this. The love of the game, that's what they say, right? That is what they say. That was a rhetorical question. Anybody in the chat, make sure to drop a like and give me a subscribe if you are willing. You don't have to. Who am I to tell you? But we've got a good game on our hands. And Vegas could even the score really quick. All right, a Vegas power play. This is a high-powered offense. We'll see if they can get anything going. But Jackson Blake is going to head to the box. Tomas Hertl to take the draw against Jordan Stahl. It's won by Stahl back to Slavin. He'll wind it along the boards. And unable to keep it in are the Vegas Golden Knights. Hart with the backhand pass to Dorofeyev. And right back to Marner. He'll start the breakout. Mitch Marner. Drop pass. Dorofeyev leaves it out in the open for Eichel. Jack Eichel takes it in. Kicked by Stone. And we'll get a stoppage here. Potentially offsides. Looks like that's what it'll be. So Hertl, Stone, Dorofeyev, Marner, and Eichel. Unless they made a change. I don't believe they did. That is exactly what their lineup is. So they are going all offense. No defenseman here. Just 5 forwards. Mitch Marner dangles in and is swallowed up by Brandon Bussey for the save. half a minute gone on this power play. Good chance for Mitch Marner there. He buries it pretty often, and he's done well this postseason. If Vegas can come up with the next 2 games, he'll be the Conn Smythe Trophy winner. And that's a good save by Brandon Bussi. You never know in these games, anything can go in. Keandre Miller takes it off the draw, but they'll redo it. Or will they? Looks like we're going to have another penalty on our hands. This one on Tomas Hertl. And we're going to even up the sides. 4-on-4 for a minute and a half. Tomas Hertl joins Jackson Blake in the box. So let's see what he did. I don't exactly know what that is, but it looks illegal. Face-off violation, that's what it is. So 2 minutes for Hertl, and now we'll get some 4-on-4 action. The best part of hockey. Eichel and Aho square off at the dot. Draw one by Aho. Pass across. Gostisbehere fires a shot. Saved by Hart. Former teammates Shane Gostisbehere, Carter Hart. They were teammates on the Philadelphia Flyers. That's my favorite team. And one of these two gentlemen is going to win the Stanley Cup. That's great to think about as a Philadelphia Flyers fan. So draw one back to Gostisbehere, sent across, dangerous pass to Jarvis, but he accepts it. And now fighting along the boards, Jarvis and McNabb gets it out to Aho. Aho sends it back to the point. Gostisbehere, Aho, out in front, misses. And recovered by Howden, sent out to Eichel. And now McNabb. Back to Shea Theodore. Up to Eichel. Moving slowly now, Jack Eichel. Aho Preston now backs off, and now a breakaway here! Saved by Bussi! Brett Howden nearly even the score. And he's had a nose for the net so far. Surprised he couldn't get it, especially with a chance like that. And now going the other way is Nikolai Ehlers, 4-on-4 with Svechnikov. He winds a shot, and it'll be a souvenir for a member of the crowd, and a fantastic chance just denied by Bussi. Brett Howden with a phenomenal reception of a pass from Jack Eichel. Bussi had it all the way. He went 5-hole. Bussi just knocked it down. I like the ref cam. I couldn't see it all the time, but I like it. I like it for this. Howden with 14 goals this playoffs nearly had his 15th. And now Hall. Back to Chatfield, and they'll take it out of the offensive zone. Taylor Hall, this game's first goal scorer. And only goal scorer. Slavin drops for Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere, as 4-on-4, will run out, and the Canes will have 20 seconds and change of a power play. Actually, 30. Jackson Blake out of the box, weaves in, sends it across. Gostisbehere is denied on the pass, and a great defensive stick work by the Vegas Golden Knights. One last rush for Carolina. Shane Gostisbehere keeping it. Sends it along. Icing waved off. Carter Hart can't play it. And a save by Hart! How did he get that one? That's unbelievable. I thought the Canes would be able to steal a goal at the end of the power play, as Hart was careless playing the puck, but he got back around and made the save. Somehow that one stayed out. Now back in the offensive zone. Sent in and deflected off Hart's shoulder. Aho winds it back around. Walker behind the net. Martinook. Jordan Martinook collects and now sends it back behind the net for Sebastian Aho. Aho back to Nikishin, the rookie. Sent in. Svechnikov can't finish it off. A pile up in the corner, and it gets out to Vegas. Rasmus Andersson, the new Golden Knight, sends it along the boards, sent back in by Nikishin. Aho winds it along. And a fantastic attempt to block it and keep it in the offensive zone by Ehlers. But it gets back to Vegas. Sent up. Chatfield recovers. And now taken by Jack Eichel. He's dangerous in the offensive zone. He keeps, weaves in, and it's saved by Brandon Bussey. Taken by Stahl. Sent out. Intercepted. And wound in by Vegas. Kept in by Vegas. Slavin battling with Dorofeyev. And Marner collects outside of the offensive area. Shea Theodore with the puck. 5.5 to go in this first period of hockey. Sent way down the ice. Icing waved off, or there was a deflection. A collision along the boards. Now fighting for the puck. Hurdle looks to grab it. McNabb in there as well with a couple canes, including Mark Jankowski. And now along the half wall. A ref takes a tumble, and it gets to Jalen Chatfield, the one who knocked the ref over. And now Keandre Miller. Miller with a long pass deflected out of play will have another stoppage. There's another replay of Carter Hart's save. That's unbelievable. That is an unbelievable save. Got to give credit where credit's due. He hasn't been good this playoff series, but wow, that's a fantastic save. Both teams have had their chances. It's just about whoever's going to capitalize on them more and whoever's going to get lucky. I think these two teams are so good. I mean, series. The series isn't luck, but game to game, it's a toss up. Stanley Cup is in the building. How about that? Back at center ice after the puck goes out of play, and it's won by Sebastian Aho. Slavin winds it in. Hard hit behind the net. Puck gets to Stone, and now Svechnikov takes. Behind the net to Martinook battling. Leaves it, and another hard hit by Svechnikov. Tied up along the wall. Svechnikov sends it out, a race for it, and it's won by Pavel Dorofeyev. Dorofeyev over to Eichel. Now Eichel sends it down. No icing. Puck taken by Mark Stone. Seemed nobody really wanted to get to it there. McNabb sends it along. And now it goes up to Taylor Hall. Hall with speed. Cuts in. Sends the net off of its posts. And he took a hard hit. Hall has been all over the ice. And he might hurt himself if he keeps playing like this. Look at that move by Hall, but man, he has no regard for human life there. And I mean his own, and wow, it's going to be a power play. Jack Eichel with the penalty on Taylor Hall, so maybe it wasn't just all of Hall's recklessness and charging towards the net. Maybe it was a push. Svechnikov had 2 power play goals in Game 5, and now Carolina's first full power play is in effect. They had 30 seconds earlier this period, draw 1 by the Canes. Now sent over to Svechnikov. He's been a weapon this power play. Stahl, behind the net, Jarvis. Gostisbehere winds a shot, and glove save by Carter Hart. And now after the play, pushing and shoving here, Aho finds himself on the ground. And looks like nothing will come of that. So let's see what happened. That's a great shot by Gostisbehere. And McNabb pushes Aho into another Golden Knight. And then the fight breaks out. Not quite a fight. Gostisbehere. Jarvis. At the left circle. Sent down behind the goal line, Svechnikov. To Aho, around the world, back to Gostisbehere, over to Aho. Sebastian Aho on the right side of at the half wall. Aho is stolen! Taken away by Dowd. Sent into Sissons, and Gostisbehere with the defensive stick work to free it up. It's a 4-on-3 for the Canes. Ehlers. Jarvis. Back to Ehlers to Gostisbehere. Sent in. Aho tips it just behind the net. Looked like he had heartbeat but couldn't hit the net. Ehlers keeps it in. Sent along behind. Svechnikov. Gostisbehere. Crosses. Off the boards. Ehlers. Gostisbehere. Keeps. Sends it across Svechnikov. Looking for a pass. Sends it down behind the goal line. Aho. Aho around, and it gets over the stick of Seth Jarvis. Gostisbehere collects it at center ice. Back into Ehlers. Ehlers with speed. Tripped up by McNabb. Gostisbehere. Stankoven. Quick passing to Blake, and he can't handle it. Taylor Hall, the goal scorer. Crosses. Now back to Hall. Hall weaving his way through, and it's knocked off his stick. Marner gets to it. Now Stankoven in free space. Back to the blue line. Ehlers, Hall, sent out in front, nobody home, and cleared by Vegas. That will do it for Carolina's power play. 2 for 2 for Vegas on their penalty kill, and Taylor Hall is stripped in the offensive zone. Well, his defensive zone. Vegas' offensive zone now kept in by Theodore. Theodore, back to Marner. Cuts in. Can't get the shot off and lifted out to center ice by the Canes. Zips a pass to Eichel. Out of the box, Jack Eichel, guarded closely by Chatfield. And it's going to be another delayed penalty. Hart to the bench, and Jack Eichel keeping. He weaves through. Eichel sends a shot, and it's gloved by Brandon Bussey. And Vegas will have a power play to finish out this first period. 1-0 Carolina. Shots 8-6 in favor of the team in the lead, the Carolina Hurricanes. So Stankoven's going to head to the box. He trips up Marner, and that's a cross check. Can't do that, Stankoven. And that one was as clear as day. So the top power play line out for Vegas, their 5 forwards, Hurdle, Eichel, Marner, Stone, Dorofeyev. Their last power play was cut short because of another penalty on Brett Howden. Draw one by Vegas. Back to Marner. Eichel. Back to Marner. Sent in. Hurdle. Eichel off his skate. And not in a good position to take the shot. Jack Eichel behind the net. Stick handling. Up to Marner at the circle. Across. Dorofeyev. Eichel. Crosses. Marner fans on it. And it's poked away. Dorofeyev trying to keep. Knocked down by Martinook. Marner keeps. Stone out in front. Dorofeyev saved. And it looked like there was no shot. It was a missed pass. Marner sent out in front. Stone knocked around. It stays out. Hurdle. Back to Marner at the point. Sent across. Eichel keeps it in. And Martinook able to come up with the puck and clear at 30 seconds to go in the period. What a sequence for Brandon Bussi to keep it out. Every shot matters now. Eichel keeps it. Hurdle in. Crosses. Stone back. Marner winds a shot. Goes wide. 10 seconds in the period. Canes need to make a stand. Stone. Eichel. Dorofeyev is denied. Brandon Bussi. And that'll do it for the period. What a last-second chance for Vegas, and what a last-second save for Brandon Bussi. Are you kidding? In his first season, he has played lights out. What an opportunity. And Jacob Slavin doing what he does best, stopping the other team from scoring. Dorofeyev nearly nets this one, but Bussi is all over it. And look at Aho on the ground. Wow, this Canes team is desperate for a win. And so far they are winning. It's 1-0 after 1 in favor of the away team, the Carolina Hurricanes, who are 2 periods away from raising Lord Stanley's Cup in Vegas. This is going to be a good second and third period. I'm going to change this now so I don't forget later, but I will be right back for the second period. What's up, what's up, what's up? We are back for period 2 of Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals for 2026. It's been a great period. There's been chances galore. The goal from Taylor Hall early was a great shot. That save from Hart, unbelievable. Brandon Bussi standing on his head during the Vegas power play at the end of the period. This period had a lot. And the second period, I'm hoping it can follow suit because this game could be an all-timer. This series already has been an all-timer. .313 till puck drop in the second period. And I think the Vegas Golden Knights are going to score the next goal. They've been able to even up most deficits, even bigger ones, like 3-0, 2-0. This is only 1-0. I think this power play has done really, really well. The Canes have been lucky to escape unscathed, and I think Vegas is going to get the next goal. But it wouldn't surprise me either way. Carolina could run away with this one, and even if they do run away with this one, there have been comebacks in every single game. It's just a fantastic series. Brandon Bussi has been this game's hero so far. Hall had the goal, but Bussi 11 saves in the first period. Some big ones at that. He's been unbelievable. And if I had to guess who the goal scorer is going to be, the next goal scorer is going to be Jack Eichel. I think he'll get it done. We are back for the start of the second period. Puck drop in just a couple seconds at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. It's a beautiful arena. I can't say a beautiful team plays there because I'm not a huge fan of the Vegas Golden Knights. But this game has been fantastic. Slavin was great. Gostisbehere was great. They're showing their defensive highlights right now. And Gostisbehere's not really known for being a defensive weapon, but man has he been good. He's more of a point scorer. He's like a luxury for a team to have as a defenseman, but he has been just solid this series. Power play quarterback, just been fantastic. And then look at the offense. Taylor Hall might be playing himself into a Hall of Fame. Might be a little bit premature, but he's got a Hart Trophy. He might have a Stanley Cup. He might have a Conn Smythe. One nothing Carolina. Now in our second period of action. Slavin on the wing because Carolina still shorthanded for 35 more seconds. Eichel passes to Marner. And now Marner up the middle. Across, stolen away, but Slavin can't completely clear the zone. Tomas Hertl keeps, and now a saucer pass to Mark Stone. Stone drops and now finds an open Eichel. Eichel spins, loses Martinook, and now gets to Marner. Dorofeyev fakes the shot. Now Marner winds a shot and it's saved. Knocked out of the zone. Down to Hart, and that'll be the power play. Canes kill off another one. Vegas with 12 shots to Carolina's 8. Didn't start that way, though. It took them a while to get their first shot, but this offense has been good. They just haven't been better than Brandon Bussey. As this one's knocked out of the zone again, Shea Theodore collects. Theodore looking for Barbashev, finds him. Barbashev leading the playoffs in hits, but can also score if he needs to. Stankoven delivers the hit, stays into the offensive zone. Howden. Brett Howden keeping the puck, and now stolen away by Sebastian Aho. Aho couldn't get it quite out of the zone, but now can, and it's Seth Jarvis trying to corral it, and Theodore stuffs it. Pass finds the stick of a Vegas Golden Knight into the zone, and shot misses. Stankoven. Now bouncing puck. And it leaves the zone. Braden Bowman with that shot there, and it'll be a draw right outside the offensive zone for Carolina. What a storybook series and career this would be for Rod Brind'Amour. He can win one as a player, and now he's 2 periods away from winning one as a coach. Hard hit along the wall. It escapes the zone. Bussey will play it. Leaves it for Gostisbehere, who lifts it out of the zone. Finds a Golden Knight. Now this one's sent down. It's icing. Offensive zone draw for Carolina. Shots 12-9 in favor of Vegas, but the one that counts are the goals. And it's 1-0 Carolina. Sent out immediately into the neutral zone. Finds a Golden Knight stick, but now pushed ahead. Bussey will cover. Tomas Hertl coming back out on the ice. Was a member of some really good Sharks teams. Now on this really good Golden Knights team. Eichel with Stone and Dorofeyev, with Hanifin and Anderson back in the offensive zone. Canes clear the zone, but this one's going to be icing almost immediately. There was Keandre Miller, the one who iced it. This guy's pretty tough. Thank you, Theo, for joining. Shout out to you. I appreciate it. So that was the replay of Game 5. William Karlsson got hurt, not playing in today's game. A Kane falls to the ice, but it gets up to Jarvis. Slams into Hanifin along the boards. Now Dorofeyev gets it out, corralled by Ehlers. Dorofeyev falls to the ice, no penalty. Ehlers can't find Stahl. Near a goal there, but Eichel with speed now for a 4-on-3 for Vegas. Up to Stone. Crosses, intercepted by the Carolina Hurricanes, and he finds an open Stahl. Looking for another. Saved by Carter Hart. Jordan Stahl with the breakaway. Couldn't get it to go, and now Svechnikov takes it in. Bouncing puck. Gets past Hart around the boards. And now Stone in some open space. Saucer pass finds the stick of Dorofeyev, but he kicks it up to Chatfield. Jalen Chatfield back skating into his own zone, and now Canes will change, sent up to the Golden Knights. Howden with the pressure on Slavin finds Svechnikov in stride. A great pass, and it's left. Aho knocks it down. Svechnikov looking for it, and now Eric Robinson sends it down into the Vegas defensive zone. This one hits a Kane and bounces to Gostisbehere. He'll send it way down. Hart playing the puck behind his own net. There's Jankowski. No offsides there. And yes, offsides. It hit the Kane who was returning onside. So we'll have a draw just outside the offensive zone for Carolina. And that was a near goal for Jordan Staal. And another one right here. Wow. 2 good saves by Hart. Well, one was a miss, but a second great save by Carter Hart. Right back to the action. Sent down. Hart plays it. Now Tomas Hertl. Hertl lost it. Recovered by Blake, and now Hertl sent it into empty space. 2-on-1 for Vegas. Tomas Hertl. Toe drags. Saved! It was blocked by Jackson Blake. Stankoven comes up with the puck and lifts it out to center ice. Vegas' possession. A fantastic chance there. It won't go. Nikishin sends it up to Hall. Taylor Hall with a long pass. It'll be icing. Just makes it down there fast enough. And it's an offensive zone draw for Vegas. What a play there. Did Jackson Blake actually end up getting a piece of that? Or was it all Brandon Bussey? But Tomas Hertl, incredible work. Let's see. Hertl gets around Gostisbehere, and it's all Brandon Bussey. What a save. Now an offensive zone draw for a dangerous line. Eichel, Stone, and Marner. 15:24 in the second period to go. This one just stays in the zone. McNabb lifts it through and out of play. "35 minutes to go in this game. If the Canes win, they're champs, and the 2026 season will conclude. If Vegas can come back, it is only a 1-goal lead for Carolina, but if Vegas can come back, we'll go to Game 7. Played up to Keandre Miller. Staal sends it deep to Miller. Off the front of the net, and Hart pounces on it to freeze it and set up an offensive zone draw for Carolina. There's Eric Robinson, Pennsylvania native, or from the area. Jankowski wins the draw back to Walker. He'll rip a shot. Never saw Hart. Hart never saw it. It got blocked. Now back behind the net. It escapes to Walker. Eric Robinson getting dirty behind the net. Anderson sends it out. And it'll get all the way back down to Bussey for an icing call. Another icing. It's been pretty common. And Aho will take the offensive zone draw as Vegas unable to get a change. They will send out, I believe that is Dowd. Draw one by Dowd. Anderson lifts it out of the zone, looking for Dowd. He got it. Chatfield can't deliver the hit. And poked away by Aho. Martinook trying to get it, and now a slap shot turned away by Brandon Bussey. Ehlers is hit. And now sent up, but not nearly out And now the Hurricanes will retain possession. Slavin, slap pass, finds Hart somehow, and dropped back. Vegas advancing. It's Anderson. All the way down. Bussy plays it. He dropped it for Miller. Could he get it out? Not quite. Fighting for it, Blake and Marner. Now Slavin sends it up to a 2-on-1 for Carolina. With Hall. The shot! Missed its mark. And now a great pass from Marner to find Barbashev. And Marner retains possession. This one gets past Bussy, but Sean Walker's stick is able to keep it out. Now a hard hit. It escapes the zone, and that'll be icing. Stankoven throwing hands now with Jeremy Lauzon. Will there be a penalty? Doesn't look like it. But that is a hard hit from Lauzon on Stankoven. And then there's some stick grabbing in there. But I'm not entirely sure who's grabbing whose stick. Hard to tell. But no penalty. Stankoven's still out there to take the draw against Eichel. It's an offensive zone draw for Vegas. It's won by Stankoven of Carolina. Taylor Hall. Over to Blake. Theodore behind the net. Sends it up to Dorofeyev. Dorofeyev crosses McNabb. McNabb. Back to Dorofeyev with a nice pass. Working with Miller, and Miller able to free it up for Jackson Blake. Blake. High lob pass. Cannot find his target. McNabb. Eichel. Stone. And now Dorofeyev can't handle it. It's taken away by Sean Walker. Ehlers falls to the ground. He seems to go down hard there. And a stoppage. Hope Nikolai Ehlers is okay. Let's see what happened here. Ooh, that's a high stick by Braden McNabb. Will that be a penalty? Could be. Could be. We'll decide, I guess, when we get back from commercial here. It's been a good period. No goals yet this second period, but there's been offense galore. Hart's been good. Bussy's been good. Will this be the game where the goalies show up to be the stars, potentially? After that first goal by Hall, Hart has been pretty solid, and Bussy's been good all game. Right back to action. Only 33 minutes away from giving away the Stanley Cup final, barring overtime, which could happen. These two teams seem to be very evenly matched as we stand. Is 1-0 Vegas, then 1-1, then 2-1 Vegas, then 2-2, and then Carolina took the 3-2 lead. So anything could happen here. These teams seem to not like each other very much. Marner to take the draw against Jankowski. It's won and tied up, but now knocked back to Chatfield. Slavin evades. Now sends a pass up to Robinson. Jankowski now sent up to Carrier. Taken the other way by Vegas off the turnover, and now a poke check puts it in the hands of Shea Theodore, who dumps it in. Chatfield around behind the net. Sent up, Svechnikov never saw it. Slavin waiting. He's got time. Now he works it up and passes way down the ice to Martinuk. Korsak tries to find Lauzon, and now Hurdle takes it. Back to Hurdle. Sends it deep, Nikishin. And now a stoppage. I thought Hurdle would be across the red line, but I guess not. Looks like that one's icing. Shea Theodore, best player on the ice, and he's got the best name out there. I do like the name Shea Theodore, but I don't know if I can agree with that first statement. I think the best player in this series might be Jack Eichel. At least that's who I'd give it to. Gostisbehere with a nice move. Cuts in, pass blocked. Maybe a shot attempt there. Svechnikov corrals it in his own zone. Sends it along the boards. Icing waved off. Up to Lauzon. Hurdle. Up to Hall. 2-on-1. Hall crosses. Cannot find Stankoven. Blake. Poked in front. Taken by Lauzon. Up to Hurdle. Tomas Hurdle. Sends it way down. Finds Dowd. Charged by two Canes. Dowd has it pressed beneath his skate, and now it's sent way back out of the zone. This one will be icing, so another offensive draw for the Vegas Golden Knights. They still lead in shots, but not in goals. It's 1-0 Carolina still in the second period. This is the least offensive that any of these games has been. Nearly halfway through, only one goal. It was Taylor Hall early in the first period. Dowd to take the draw with Anderson and Hanifin back. It's won by the Canes. Keandre Miller sends it to Blake, and now a long pass finds the stick of Stankoven. Walker. Sent back to Rasmus Anderson, who keeps it. And now it fans on a pass, trying to dump it in. Dowd battling in the corner. Poked away by Keandre Miller. Taylor Hall leaves it for Stahl. And now dumped in by Walker. Jarvis hit along the boards. Jarvis not too big, and he was hit hard by Dowd. Jarvis keeping it. He's gritty. He can get into these tough positions and make it happen. Battling with Theodore. Stahl keeps. Now back to Slavin. Up to the captain, Jordan Stahl. The defenseman, Slavin. Passes. Now back across to Slavin. Kane's setting up now. Leaves it. Nikolai Ehlers. Circles back. Ehlers on the left side. Leaves it for Slavin. To Chatfield. Sent all the way down, looking for Jarvis. Trying to find Ehlers, and it gets back up to Slavin. Nearly a minute in the zone already. Nikolai Ehlers crosses. Chatfield. A shot! And it goes out of play. Chatfield with a nice shot. Couldn't see it. Looked like it went off a stick and out of play. A great offensive possession for Carolina here. Not able to make anything of it, and it'll be an offensive zone draw for them. Still no goals this second period. I stand by that. I think it's going to be Eichel to do it. He's on a 7-game goal drought. Has not had one this series. He's had plenty of assists, but I do think he's the best player on the ice for either team. What an opportunity. And what a game for Brandon Bussi, man. It's unbelievable. 2 starts, 2 wins. He's winning a third. I'm not going to jinx it, but well, I am going to jinx it. I'm going to say it. I guess saying it is jinxing it. He's pitching a shutout right now through half the game in the opponent's stadium in a closeout game of the Stanley Cup Final. It is hard to fathom what he has done. And he's got a shot at the Conn Smythe Trophy. If Carolina takes it home tonight, it could be him. It could be Stoll. I don't think it'd be Bussi, but there's definitely the chance with the story as well. It could be Stoll, it could be Hall, it could be Stankoven. Could be Svechnikov. I don't think it will be, but he had 2 goals in Game 5. It was the important turning point. First time the Canes won 2 back-to-back games this series. Now defensive zone Marner passes back to Lauzon, chased by Svechnikov. Gets out to Martinook and an offside. Lauzon with a big hit. That's why he's there, I guess. Consistently delivers these blows. Just some more highlights of Brandon Bussi. It's all been highlights so far. Had that breakaway stop. And a tough stand, short-handed, putting everything out on the line. One of the best win-loss ratios I've ever seen. 31-6-2. That's wild. That's wild. So draw 1 by the Canes, and they'll start on offense once again. Pass unable to be handled by Rasmus Andersson. Deflected by a Hurricane. Now poked away. Stays in play. And sent down. Winning the race for it is Jordan Stoll. Over to Slavin. Jacob Slavin. It gets knocked away to Hanifin. Sent all the way down. Looking for icing and getting it are the Hurricanes. Jalen Chatfield won the race to it. He beat Colton Sissons. And another offensive zone draw for Carolina. In other sports news right now, Côte d'Ivoire beat Ecuador 1-0. Japan tied the Netherlands 2-2. Germany defeated Curaçao 7-1. In baseball, the Rangers lead the Red Sox 6-3. Draw 1 by the Hurricanes. Sean Walker dumps it down for Carrier. Jankowski fighting for the puck, but it's recovered by Hurdle. And now Carrier steals again. Pass knocked away and taken by Dorofeyev, trying to outspeed Walker. He won't, but he gets a deflection, slams Walker into the boards. And now this one pops out all the way Hart's way for icing. Lauzon won the race. And another offensive zone draw, this time for Vegas. Draw one and sent back by Vegas. Dorofeyev tries to just put anything on net, and Jankowski flips it away. It finds the stick of Carrier. Theodore back. He's hit. McNabb over to Dorofeyev. Sent up to Mark Stone, the captain. Left for Eichel, and Eichel takes it once again. Eichel is stripped of the puck. Stone keeps, and stolen away by Sebastian Aho. Dorofeyev tries to go for the tough angle. Can't quite get it. Good save by Bussy. And now Theodore. Pass knocked away and offside. Aho wants a different call, but it is the right call. 7:17 to go in the second period. The game is more than halfway over, and what a shot by Dorofeyev. Just missed it. He's been the biggest producer of offense for Vegas. 8 shot attempts, 4 shots. Sent back into Vegas' zone cleanly on the draw, and Hanifin takes. Gets Blake to fall, and now Hanifin in open space. Sent it past the red line and out of play off a deflection. Dorofeyev 2 goals in Game 5. It's now Game 6, and he is right back on that train of scoring. Not quite scored yet, but he has 3 chances. And he might be the one to tie this game up for Vegas, if they can tie this game up, if they can get something past Brandon Bussy. Stankoven sent out into center ice. Pass just a little strong for Brett Howden, and Stankoven recovers. Sean Walker. Pass knocked off the hands of Hanifin, and Hanifin keeps. Blake strips him. Jackson Blake sends a pass off the board. Stankoven fanned on it, and now Blake kicks it. Hanifin keeps, and now it's stolen away again by Stankoven. Down low, and off the post it looks like. Back to Blake. He rips a shot. He scores! Jackson Blake! The same line! It's 2-0 Carolina! And that's all it takes. Just a lucky shot in the right spot. The Hall-Stankoven-Blake line is buzzing. It's 2-0. The Canes lead it in the second period. What a forecheck. Stankoven and Blake sends it off the post right back to Blake. Rips a shot short side. Hart cannot get the glove there. That is an unbelievable forecheck. They never gave up on the play. Stankoven looking for the angle and then shifts to the pass. Jackson Blake. Did that go off of a Vegas Golden Knight? It did! It was tipped. That's how he got such a good angle on it. Why Hart couldn't see it. It's 2-0 Carolina. That is a backbreaker for Vegas. They still lead the game in shots, but Jackson Blake capitalizes on a bad bounce for Vegas. 2-0. The Canes lead. Behind the net is Lauzon. Sent up. Off a stick. Looking for icing. Won't get it. It's waved off. Stahl sends it down. Batted ahead. Korsak off the ref's foot. And now off Stahl's skate. Dumped down. Jarvis fighting for it. Behind the net. He'll get it. What a forecheck by these Carolina Hurricanes. Svechnikov. Out in front. Oh! Did Hart get it? He did. What a save by Carter Hart, and that could have been another goal for this Canes high-powered offense, but Hart makes the save. he's done good enough today. The Canes offense has just been overwhelming. And again, that shot from Blake. Wow. 2-0 Carolina. And I guess I was wrong. I thought that the next goal would be scored by Vegas, but now they have a 2-goal deficit to try to recover from. And if they want to do it, or if they want to win the Stanley Cup, they're going to have to do it. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Brandon Bussi has been shutting everything down, and this Canes defense has been rock solid. The Canes forechecking today has been off the charts. Vegas has been unable to get the puck out of their zone, and it's led to that goal. The first goal was merely due to Hall breaking free in an excellent pass, but right there in that last shot attempt was all forecheck by Carolina, just getting dirty. It's what they need to do to win the Stanley Cup, and they've done it so far. 5:48 to go in the second period. Draw one by Vegas, up in the air to Shea Theodore. Behind Hart's net. Sent up off Stahl. Or excuse me, that's Slavin. Bussi sends it out, but it's received by a Golden Knight, and the pass goes awry to Taylor Hall. Hall leaves it, and now a 3-on-2. Guess who? This line. Up to Blake. Can't handle it. Now Hertl the other way. Tomas Hertl breaking through. Past Chatfield, now circles back. Unable to be handled by Shea Theodore. Leaves it for Anderson. Back to Theodore. 5 minutes to go in this second. Theodore up across and taken by the Canes fans on the shot, or the pass, excuse me. And now this one sent off a stick, so no icing. Hart will play it. He'll pass it to Anderson on the backhand. And now Stone. Pass from Stahl, tip to Ehlers, cuts in, shoots off the shoulder of Hart. Kicked behind the net, and now Barbashev comes up with it. Passes up to Jack Eichel. He'll slow it down. And now it's poked away. Taken by Stahl. Back on side is Svechnikov. And now Lauzon racing Stahl to get to it. Taken away by the Canes, and now it is taken right back by Vegas. Jankowski can't win the race to the puck, and it's knocked away by Sean Walker. Sent down Hart's way, no icing. And Lauzon behind the net, looking for a pass. Breakout chance for Vegas. They haven't had a shot in nearly 10 minutes. Now a chance for one. Howden, he's leading the Stanley Cup playoffs in goals. Now Carrier takes it away. Gets past the ref. Carrier falls. And now gets it out of the zone. Martinook pushes it ahead. Racing is Aho, but Korsak will win the race. 12 minutes without a shot for Vegas. Chatfield sends it down. No icing. And McNabb will take it. Still wearing that cage, Braden McNabb. He's easy to spot on the ice. Brett Howden winds through. 14 goals this Stanley Cup playoffs. Looking for number 15 to help his team. Pass from Bussi gets into the defensive zone for Vegas. And now Jankowski can't get it through. It's Anderson. He dumps it down. Gostisbehere looking for it, but it's taken right back by Nick Dowd and out of the zone. Shea Theodore will collect, and now a penalty. Vegas is going to be shorthanded as Rasmus Andersson goes into the box, and this is not what they needed right now. A team without a shot for the last 12 minutes is sending a player to the box. They're going to be shorthanded, and here's what happened. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. Interference, I guess. If they had called it a trip, I think it would have been tough to justify that one. But interference, I can see it. And here comes this high-powered offense with a man up. 0 for 2 on the power play today, but only one of those was a full-length power play. Jordan Staal has been the key for the Canes scoring attack just with his leadership and his goals, to be honest. The draw is won by Vegas cleanly. It was Colton Sissons, a good penalty killer for this team. Now the pass misses Sissons. Try saying that 10 times fast, and Gostisbehere will take it behind the net. Shane Gostisbehere leaves it for Jarvis, and Jarvis sends it way up into the offensive zone, but cannot find Svechnikov. It's knocked right back to Seth Jarvis, and they'll start over. Jarvis in his own zone. Drops it back for Shane Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere entering with Ehlers. Now enters the offensive zone. Aho dishes it around the net to Ehlers. Back to Svechnikov. Across. Gostisbehere. The shot. It's saved by Carter Hart. Denies Aho. A sprawling one for Vegas' goaltender to keep it 2-0 Carolina. That's a phenomenal save. I don't know if that was going to hit the net. Let's see. No, that's an excellent save by Carter Hart. Probably no. You know what? I think it would have been a miss. I think it would have been post. But still a great save by Hart to stop a rebound, and now it's cleared by Vegas. Nikishin winds it around. Now the second power play. This is Stankoven. He keeps it from harm, and now it's taken away. Jackson Blake is knocked down, and Marner trying to waste some time with it. He'll get into some space and give it to Howden. Back to Marner. To Howden in front. Bussy slides and overcorrected. And now Hall. With some time and some room. Taylor Hall passes up. Stankoven. To Blake. Across. Ehlers can't come down with it. And Mark Stone enters an odd man rush. Stankoven steals. Way to neutralize that opportunity. Ehlers back to Nikishin. Blake. Sending on Hart. He'll play it and send it way down. It's blocked. But a high stick. That would have been a great chance for Stankoven and Staal had it not been a high stick, but it is whistled dead. Carolina's power play will be 18 seconds longer with 1:13 to go in this period. Staal on the draw to face Dowd. Possibly the last power play rush that the Canes have time for with only 18 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Staal can't win it cleanly, but it gets back to Walker. He dumps it down. Hart plays it. Carrier with the hit. And now Martinook with the hit on McNabb. There's a pile-up. That'll do it for the power play, but it's still in the offensive zone for Carolina. Lauzon and Smith are just on the puck with Carrier, and now it gets out behind Hart's net. Dowd and Staal skating to it. Martinook ends up on the ground, and it gets to Lauzon with 35 seconds left in this period. Sent way up into the hand of Smith. Walker. The pass to Carrier. And all the way back to Theodore. Off the stick of Dowd at center ice. Dumped down, and Carter Hart will play it. No icing. 12 seconds. Shea Theodore with 10. And now one last attempt to get it to Eichel. It's out of the zone, and that will do it for our second period of action. Bussy a clean sheet through 2. One more period to go in the Stanley Cup Final, Game 6. Potentially for the Stanley Cup Final in general. The Canes lead 2-0. The goal by Jackson Blake. And Vegas with an abysmal end to the second period offensively. Carolina now leads in goals and shots. And Vegas needs at least 2 in the third period to give them a chance at the Stanley Cup. We will be right back for the third period of action and potentially the final period of action in the NHL season. And we're back. The third period, potentially the final period of hockey this season. That would be insane, but it's pretty likely. The Canes are up 2-0 on Vegas. Vegas needs to score at least 2 to even give them a chance. I said at the beginning of the second period, I thought the Golden Knights were going to score the next goal. After what I saw from them in the second period, I don't know if they're going to score a goal. The Canes dominated the second period. Vegas did not have a shot in the final 15 minutes. And sure, that shot by Jackson Blake was a lucky tip. But they still got a shot. And that's what matters. You got to put pucks on net if you want to score. Wayne Gretzky said something about that. Here we go. Vegas, Carolina. One of the best Stanley Cup finals of my life. Actually, is that even true? No, this has been a good one. There have been comebacks in nearly every game. Which is why I don't think I can count Vegas out. This is a team that knows they're down to their final period if they don't get something going, and I think they might get something going. Aho, Martinuk, Svechnikov out to start for the Canes. Svechnikov takes it and dumps it down immediately, and we are off. Under 20 minutes to go for the season. In Game 6, this one's knocked off of Svechnikov in a hand pass, but it finds the stick of Braden McNabb, so no stoppage. Walker gets it up to Aho. Sebastian Aho with speed. Tracked down by Eichel, and Theodore gets it out of the defensive zone to Dorofeyev. Kept in. Taylor Hall's been everywhere today. Knocked down from center ice by Chatfield. And sent up to Jackson Blake, one of the 2 goal scorers. Anderson's hit by Stankoven in the offensive zone. And now Stone gets past a man. Passes across. And a shot never got attempted. Stone was looking for Sissons. A fantastic move by the captain, Mark Stone. But could not finish or get the finishing pass. And drops a word I'm not allowed to say. But man, what a move past Hall. Goes through his legs. Could not complete the pass. Too much traffic. He's got to shoot that. You can't get it past Jacob Slavin. Howden ties up the draw, and now it's sent way out to center ice. Theodore slips, and now it's deflected deep into Carolina's zone, recovered by Sean Walker. And now the forecheck by Howden frees up the puck for Vegas. Marner misses the pass. Now fighting for it. Aho gets it out, but not nearly. And now with the chance to get it out to Martinuk, he does. Theodore crosses. Back to Anderson and back to Theodore. Deflected into Bussey. He plays it behind him to Keandre Miller, and the puck gets out of the zone to McNabb. McNabb fires it right back in. Walker to Miller. Keandre Miller redirects it off the boards. And now deep, recovered by the Canes. It's Eric Robinson who can't quite make it to the puck, but now McNabb with space carrying it into the neutral zone, and then he dumps it down. No shots in the last 18 minutes for Vegas. Carolina has done a phenomenal job as of late. This one's going to be icing and an offensive zone draw and a chance for Vegas to get a shot. But they need a lot more than a shot. They need a goal, and quickly. Draw one back by the Canes. Chatfield hard pass to Slavin, who dumps it in, and the Canes will change. Up to Sissons. He winds it in. Bussey will play it. Streaking Hurdle comes in, but he's unable to get to it. Stone. Slap pass to nobody in particular, Slavin. Intercepted by Mark Stone. Leaves it. Hurdle, or excuse me, that's Barbashev. The shot is denied. Taken back by Anderson. Gets back to the point. Lauzon. A shot blocked. Seth Jarvis putting his body on the line. This one stays in. Sent across to Jeremy Lauzon, and now taken by Nikolai Ehlers, winning the race to it. He gets it to Jarvis. Jarvis one-on-one. The shot finds Hart's gear, and he'll freeze it. Golden Knights finally record a shot. Nearly dangerous for Hart, but he's able to get to it. And yet another offensive zone draw for Carolina. Sebastian Aho will take it. Draw one by Aho. Martinuk, and now back to Aho. Send it across. Nobody home. And Theodore will intercept. Sent all the way up. Beating it is Eichel. Past Nikishin. And not able to be kept in by Braden McNabb. Sent back to Dorofeyev. Pavel Dorofeyev, one of this team's top goal scorers, has been quiet this playoffs. Or, excuse me, this Stanley Cup final has not been quiet this playoffs. He's been very, very good. Sent along the boards for an icing call. Korczak collects it, and another offensive zone draw, this time for Vegas. Draw one in the defensive zone by the Canes. Sent back Hanifin to receive with pressure from Carolina's high-powered offense. Keandre Miller around behind his own net. Stankoven. And taken by Vegas. Back to Noah Hanifin. Up to Smith. Miller pokes it free and takes it. And lifts it up into center ice. Theodore bounces a pass and now received by the Canes, but back in the hands of Shea Theodore. Hanifin all the way back to Theodore, a change. Pass misses its mark. Jankowski winds it right back in Hart's way. A weird bounce gets it to Braden McNabb, and McNabb plays it to the other side. Canes with a good forecheck. This one will get out of the zone, however. Nikishin and Chatfield back for Carolina with the puck. Sent way deep by Chatfield, looking to get it, but cannot. It'll be icing. Stankoven now banged up on the bench. It was Hall earlier, and then he scores. Now Stankoven, will he score? His two line mates have. Maybe Logan Stankoven will be next. Draw one at center ice. Poked ahead by Vegas. It's Mark Stone. Excellent play by Chatfield to free up the puck. It gets to Stahl, and then back to Slavin. Over to Ehlers. Ehlers sends it way down the ice. Sent in to the offensive zone looking for Stahl. Jordan Stahl battling. Korczak gets it to McNabb, and now here comes Seth Jarvis to try to free up the puck. It gets out to the point and sent back in by Slavin. Nobody home, however, for Carolina, and McNabb will take it as Vegas changes. Korczak. Off the boards, way intercepted. If this were football, that would have been an easy pick six, but alas, this is hockey. And Bussy comes down with the puck, but he plays it, and this time they'll freeze it. Nearly dangerous. Two 2-0 Carolina. In a series that is this offensive, neither team has been able to really mess up one of these two goalies. Hart's been good, Bussy's been better. 2-0 Canes lead with 13:43 to go in Vegas' season, potentially. If the Canes are able to win, if the Canes are able to score this next goal, this series is over. There's 13 minutes left. Vegas hasn't been particularly good on offense. If Vegas gets the next goal, it's interesting. If the Canes get the next goal, pack it up. Lord Stanley is going to Raleigh. And if it ends 2-0, the question is, who will win the Conn Smythe Trophy? I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. Hall scored tonight. Could be him. I think if Stahl doesn't score, it'll be Hall. If Stahl does score, it's going to be a hard time giving it to anybody else. He's also been excellent on faceoffs. Good on the power play, good on defense. Might have to be Jordan Stahl. But let's see here. Marner cuts in and takes a shot, and it's blocked. Marner falls to the ice. Jarvis into some open space. Weaving in. Seth Jarvis! Denied by Carter Hart. What a shot for Jarvis. Sent back. Carter Hart in good position to make the save, and Howden frees the puck up. Stone spinning and now sends it over to Theodore. Shea Theodore into the offensive zone. Poked away. Martinook comes up with it. 13 minutes to go in the third period. Slavin. Pass across. Chatfield. Sends it in. It was deflected, so no icing. And a big hit from Jordan Martinook, the alternate captain, out for blood. And now Canes run into each other. A chance for Vegas as it's passed up, but nobody home there. Now sent up. This one's intercepted. Ivan Barbashev leaves it. Aho ties up Eichel. And dangerous for the Canes, but they come up with the puck. Hanifin steals. In the defensive zone are the Golden Knights. Korczak up to Barbashev. Ivan Barbashev with a move, sends it into the offensive zone on a saucer pass. Down low, Barbashev can't handle it. It's Dorofeyev, sends it way too high for Bussy's net. Sissons, behind, it's stolen. Jackson Blake sends it up with a nice pass to Taylor Hall. Hall spins. The goal already sends it down to Stankoven, his line mate, who's also scored. Jackson Blake, and now back to Gostisbehere, to Nikishin. Sends it down low, Stankoven. Intercepted by Hurdle. Hit by Stankoven down low. Korsak fighting for it. And dumps it down. It's gonna be icing. 11:40 to go. Canes still lead 2-0. Just a replay of Seth Jarvis. Made it look effortless there. Just getting past one of the top defensemen on this Vegas team. Shea Theodore. Unable to come up with it, but wow. Seth Jarvis, a star in this league. Korsak, behind his own net, with a clump of Golden Knights sent up and out of the zone. Slavin gets to it and sends it right back in, no icing. Eric Robinson with the forecheck. This one's a long pass to Smith behind the net. Bussy in position, but it gets to a Golden Knight. Now a slip recovered by a Kane. And a stoppage, potentially a penalty, as Dowd goes to the ice. And they're going to take Eric Robinson to the box. So this could be a big momentum swing for Vegas. They've got plenty of shots on the power play. That's a high stick by Eric Robinson on Nick Dowd. Clear as day, right in front of the referee. And Vegas is going to pull out all the stops to get a goal on this power play. Canes win the draw. Trying to get it out is Slavin, and he will. All the way back to Carter Hart. He'll push it to Marner. 11 minutes to go in the third period. Stahl presses up on Mitch Marner. Marner makes it past and now weaves back, handing off to Eichel. Jack Eichel through. Crosses. Dorofeyev off his skate, now onto his stick. Marner lobs it to Eichel. Now quick pass Hurdle to Dorofeyev. Marner. Eichel. Fans on the shot. Knocked away by Martinuk. And now Martinuk comes up with it and sends it all the way back down into Vegas, their defensive zone. Marner taking it up with not a lot of speed. Eichel drops back, now takes. Howden getting dirty down low. Sends it back up to Marner. Brett Howden crosses. Hurdle. Marner fakes a shot. Gets Aho to fall. In open space. Behind the net. Marner. Eichel. Passing. Saved by Brandon Bussy. He lost the stick. Bussy with no stick. Eichel keeps. Stone misses the pass. Howden. Slap pass to Eichel, too far, and Jarvis steals. Coming up with it is Hurdle. Jarvis falls. It's a pile-up. Marner keeps it in. Brett Howden, Eichel, Stone, Eichel, saved! Or did he miss? A 2-on-0 and no goal. They had Bussy beat. And did Eichel miss the net? We gotta see this replay. Eichel hits the crossbar. Oh, that's a killer. A 2-on-0 Eichel and Stone. and unable to capitalize. He had Brandon Bussey beat. And the Canes goaltender is thanking his posts. Jack Eichel yet to record a Stanley Cup final goal. Anderson, down low, sends it in, and it's sent away. Another penalty killed for Carolina, and that one was close. Plenty of chances for Vegas. Their best chance of the night, a 2-on-0 with Stone and Eichel. There might not be two guys you'd rather have, and now Barbashev takes it into the offensive zone off a bounce. Sissons back to McNabb. And it gets free to the Hurricanes. Lobs it up for Jackson Blake. A little bit too far, but Blake sends it around behind Hart's net. Dowd with a nice move. Intercepted by Jackson Blake. The shot turned aside by Hart. Korsak picks up the rebound. The rebound skates free. Sissons dumps it down, but kept in by Jackson Blake. The forecheck from the Blake-Stankoven-Hall line has been impeccable. Sent all the way down, no icing. Walker picks it up, back to Walker. And he winds it in from beyond the red line. Robinson sends it behind the net. This is Jankowski. Hanifin frees it up to Stone. Anderson able to handle it. It's a 2-on-2 and poked away with an excellent defensive stick by Sean Walker, former Philadelphia Flyer. Carrier drops back, and now it's up and sent in by Martinook. Theodore gets it out of the defensive zone with a quick pass to Howden. Howden leading the Stanley Cup Finals in goals, and Vegas as a team has not been able to score tonight. Maybe Howden, who's been in the right place at the right time, this series will be able to break that shutout for Brandon Bussey. Howden handling, sends it back. Theodore rips a shot, gets past Bussey, but wide. Now Martinook dumps and changes. Under 7 minutes to go in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Theodore behind Hart's net. Marner now with speed to Eichel. Jack Eichel. Stick handling. Into the corner. Poked away by Brandon Bussey. Stays in the zone. Lauzon dumps it down. Handled by Marner. Behind the net, Eichel. Pushed by Miller. Gets it into the corner. And now it's poked free. Ehlers with a chase. Nikolai Ehlers tied up with Korsak. And now Lauzon delivers a big hit. Pushed ahead with his hand and now dumped down. Will this be icing? It is. Slavin got back there not quite quickly enough to wave off icing. 2-0, just over 6 minutes to go. You have to wonder when they consider pulling Hart. It's do or die. They need a goal soon. Draw one by Vegas. Popped up into the air, looking for Barbashev. Won't have him, and it's snatched by Hall. Pass goes wide of Stankoven, but in on net, so no icing. Theodore. Long pass, looking for Barbashev. He falls to the ice. Now Stankoven hit in stride. He dumps it down. Far side of the rink, away from Hart. Now Stankoven gets it back to himself. Fans on the pass. Eric Robinson looking for it. Walker behind the net, poked away by Theodore, but unable to get it away from Stankoven. Taken past Carrier, and now a chance for Vegas. Here's Brett Howden. Lost the puck, and now it gets to Dorofeyev, and it's gloved by Bussey out of the glove. And now frozen Brandon Bussey, are you kidding? Oh, another sensational save. Wow. Just wow. Brandon Bussey standing on his head tonight. And he's got his post to thank a bit. That one miss by Eichel. But wow. And the Stankoven-Blake Hall line has just been killing it all playoffs long. Both of their goals tonight, members of that line. Jackson Blake has 2 points. Hall with the early goal. Stankoven has been everywhere. Gotta give it up for these Carolina Hurricanes. Time is running out for Vegas. But a Hart streak of allowing 4+ goals may be over. It's not been a lack of offense for Vegas, at least in the third period. In the second period it was. It definitely wasn't in the first period. But man, this Carolina team has been impeccable. And here comes the Stanley Cup. It's the best trophy in all of sports, and I don't think there's any debate around that. Tied up and taken back by Carolina. Flipped ahead, looking for Jarvis. Cleared the zone, and this is going to be icing. It does not get in on Hart, and we are under 5 minutes to go. This is when you start feeling it. Not that I'd know. But wow. Five minutes to go. Rookie goalie. A team that has been everywhere when it comes to the playoffs, but finally is climbing the hill as this one's knocked out in front, but unable to get a shot attempt for Vegas. Marner sends it up onside. Hurdle holds back to Marner. Hurdle and knocked away by the Canes, Nikolai Ehlers. Hart comes way up to play it back to Theodore. 4:15 to go. You have to think Hart's coming out soon. And icing called. So not yet for Carter Hart. What a play by Nikolai Ehlers. That's an unbelievable defensive effort from the New Carolina Hurricane. Defensive zone draw for Vegas. Won by Vegas, cleanly by Hurdle. Sent over to Howden. Howden with speed. Drops. Hurdle. Sends in. Bussy turns it away. Slavin. And now behind the net go the Golden Knights. It's Barbashev and now Howden. Back to Howden. Deflected by Chatfield. And a quick shot on net. Rebound goes to the left circle, but recovered by Martinook. 3.5 to go. Kept in by Vegas and knocked ahead! And wow, Noah Hannafin was back. Right place at the right time for Noah Hannafin. Otherwise, it would have been a breakaway to maybe seal this game. But Noah Hannafin able to turn that away. Hall winds it down. 3:15 to go. Canes lead 2-0. Third period. Stanley Cup Finals, Game 6. It's do or die for Vegas. This is what it's all about. Jack Eichel. There goes Carter Hart. Sent over to Theodore. Sent in front. Swallowed up by Brandon Bussy. And it gets out. Empty net for Vegas. Blocked. Jackson Blake can't gain complete possession. And it's right back to the offensive pressure for the Golden Knights. Stolen away by Carolina. Poked to Ehlers. And sent down, recovered by Eichel. 2.5 minutes. Sent in on Bussy. Hard hit on Keandre Miller. Theodore, shot off the mask! And Bussy stands tall! Brandon Bussy with another save. Golden Knights look defeated. There's 2:21 to go, and what a save by the rookie goaltender. The Golden Knights have more shots. It's just their goaltender for Carolina has been impenetrable. What a save for Brandon Bussy. Wow. It's not been a high-scoring game. It's been the lowest-scoring game of the Cup Final. But man, has this been a good game. It's exciting. It's got everything. And just 2 minutes to go. Are you kidding me? So the question is, when we get back from the commercial, will the Knights bring Hart back into the crease and pull him again, or will they just start with him out? I believe it's an offensive zone draw for Vegas, so I think they'll just have it with empty net. Wow, I'm not even a Hurricanes fan. And this just brings a smile to my face. This team has earned it. If they can come up with it, which is seeming very likely, it is not a fluke. This team is incredible. Draw one by Stahl. Rush to Slavin, but it gets to Jarvis. He'll send it way down the ice. And offsides looking for Ehlers, or excuse me, that is Jankowski. 2:14 to go. That one was clear as day offsides. And back to another offensive zone draw for Tomas Hertl and the Vegas Golden Knights. Dorofeyev back. He's the extra attacker. Won by Vegas. Theodore. Around the net to Stone. Back to Theodore. He rips a shot. Goes wide. Dorofeyev to Marner. Now behind the net. Hurdle. Back across. Missed it as Stone. Out in front. Can't get past Brandon Bussey. Jankowski is stolen by Hurdle. Over to Eichel. He rips a shot. Down low. Knocks Marner to the ground. Past Bussey. He's out of position. But the Canes make the save and it gets to Marner. Mitch Marner. Back. A shot. Deflected. Chatfield with the block. And this one gets out of the zone. It's going to be icing. A minute 25 to go in the Stanley Cup Final Game 6. Empty net for Vegas. They're down 2. They need a goal. What a pad stack by Brandon Bussey. No, it was not. It was deflected by Chatfield. Or was it taken by Bussey? That shot was traveling so fast. Undrafted free agent by the Bruins. Played in the AHL. Made his way to Carolina on waivers. Won 30 games in his first season. Got thrown into the fire in the Stanley Cup Final. Pressure makes diamonds. Brandon Bussey has a shutout going with a minute 25 to go in the Stanley Cup Final. What a game this has been. 2-0 Carolina leads. In Vegas. Won by Carolina, the draw. Collected by Jankowski, sent down, but there's a Golden Knight waiting for it. It's Theodore. Sent around behind the net, and it was out of play, so a stoppage. It's out of the offensive zone, so the question is, will they put Hart back in net? 1:13 to go. Brandon Bussey has stood tall tonight. Draw at center ice. And stolen by Carolina. For the empty net. He scores! Nikolai Ehlers! 3-0 Canes! And that one's gonna do it. Way to pounce on the puck. A minute 8 to go. The Canes extend their lead. Ehlers has been fantastic this series. His 9th point. And he's got a shot at the Conn Smythe. He's fired up. The bench is fired up. And that is gonna clinch it. Vegas won the draw. And it was stolen by Ehlers. Fires it through the legs of Marner, and that's a celebration of pure joy. And the Canes bench knew it. The Canes arena knew it. It's 3-0 Carolina. Canes looking for an offside. They won't get it. Back to Anderson. It's blocked away. Hannafin. Looking for Sissons. 48 seconds. Sent along the boards. Hart still in net. Are the Golden Knights conceding defeat, or will he go out of the net once again? Slavin. Sent up. Svechnikov sends a shot on net, saved by Hart. And dished out to Rasmus Andersson. 20 seconds. sent way down the ice, collected by the Canes and now stolen by Vegas. 12 seconds. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Chatfield has it. He'll play it up the boards. It's a shutout for Brandon Bussi in the clinching of the Stanley Cup. Carolina's done it. They're champs for the first time in 20 years. The Stanley Cup is headed back to Raleigh. What a team. What a run this has been. What a story. 3-0 your final score. It was Hart's best performance, but he couldn't get it done against this dominant Carolina Hurricanes team. Jordan Staal's getting his name engraved back on the cup for the first time in nearly 20 years. Rod Brindamore will raise it once again. Frederik Andersen, Stanley Cup champion. And the star of it all, the unlikely star, Brandon Bussi, shut out in Game 6 to clinch it. Are you kidding me? That's unbelievable. 3-0 your final score. And now we wonder who the Conn Smythe will be. Could it be Nikolai Ehlers? I think it could. Could it be Jordan Staal? Absolutely. Could be Taylor Hall. Oh my goodness, I just saw Nick Deslauriers's face. Nick Deslauriers is a Stanley Cup champion. Yes! It's my GOAT. Carter Hart, emotional. This is tough for him. With an aging team like the Vegas Golden Knights, it's hard to imagine they'll have such a dominant and, to be honest, unlikely run to get back. But Carolina is engraved in history on Lord Stanley's Cup. What a team, what a win, what a game, and what a story. It felt inevitable. This Canes team has been so good for so long, and they have just not been able to get over the hill. And they got over the hill. Shane Gostisbehere, Stanley Cup champion. Sean Walker, Stanley Cup champion. Nick Deslauriers, Stanley Cup champion. All Flyers. And this Golden Knights team had their time. It's not the same Golden Knights team, but they won just a couple years ago. And this Carolina team earned it. A dominant playoff run. 16-3. 16-3. That's unbelievable. The handshake line, one of the best traditions in sports, as they take it all in. Cannot imagine what's going through the mind of Brandon Bussi right now. It's unimaginable. And the Carolina Hurricanes are Stanley Cup champions. Ending the Panthers' reign. It was ended as soon as they were eliminated from the playoffs. And now a new champion has been crowned. Still from the South, it's Carolina. But this team was constructed to do just this, and they did it. This feels like a satisfying end to the season. They deserved it. They deserved every single second of this celebration because they fought. This team is incredible. And what a first season in Vegas for Mitch Marner. He led the playoffs in points. He brought his team to the Stanley Cup final. but it wasn't enough to defeat an undrafted rookie goalie. How about that? That's sports, right? That's sports. Well, that's all I've got. I'm not going to stay for the presentation of the Conn Smythe. I'll make a video about it tomorrow because I honestly don't know who it would be. And honestly, if you asked me to pick, I couldn't. Vegas goes out at home in a 3-0 shutout. John Tortorella. Is this his last year, or will he come back to try to reprise this magic? Not sure, but I guess we will see. Jordan Staal, Stanley Cup champion, captain of the Carolina Hurricanes, and one of the best stories in all of sports. Thanks so much for watching. This has been a great stream, a fantastic Stanley Cup final game.